I'm Steve, this is Carol, and today we're going to explain some of the equipment we use. I'll quickly go through some of it, and Carol will explain a bit more in depth about what they all are, because we've got things like K2 meters, cat balls, obviously cameras, torches, trail cams, but we'll go through some of it. Let's start with the K2. If Carol can explain to us what K2 does.
Okay, so a K2 was originally designed for builders to detect electrical currents in walls. So it picks up electromagnetic fields. It's incredibly easy to use, but incredibly easy to get it wrong. So literally on and off. Couldn't be more simple. On, you need to be in a stable position to be able to use this. So a lot of people have these on a ghost hunt and then they go and move it around trying to pick something up, whereas really what you need to do is, wherever it is that you are, make sure you're not close to electrical currents that this is going to detect. So not close to power sources, light switches, microwaves, that kind of thing, right? Then you put it down on the surface, on a flat level surface where you can see it, back off a little bit, and then you ask something to walk towards it, to go and interact with it. You don't wave it around like you're trying to pick up a signal, which is what a lot of people do tend to do. So this is designed really for builders, but to use it properly at a ghost hunt, you should place it down somewhere or hold it out in front of you at a level, still place. You're not looking to pick up a signal. It's not a mobile phone. You literally hold it in front of you and then you ask something to come towards it. If it lights up, you can then start a yes or no. Can you light it up for yes, and then it will light up, or not? Can you, did you die here? Did you live here? Did you work here? Were you married? Those kind of things. And you can get yes or no answers on this, but not if you're waving it around.
Okay, let's have a look at something else then, what we've got here.
Another really, really simple, easy thing to use, and my personal favourite, is a cat ball. Okay, so these again were designed for cats, just to play with. So as they move around, they're a motion detector inside, very simple. As it moves around, it will light up. So you again just put it down on the surface, but be mindful of what surface you put it on. So if you put it on the floor and people are walking around, it might be detecting movement that's just perfectly natural because they're moving about. If you put it on a table, then you need to make sure the table's sturdy, steady, and someone's not purposely moving it, because otherwise it will just detect movement that's just perfectly normal movement. So you don't particularly want to try and get yes or no answers from this when there's someone at the other end of the table just knocking it, or you're getting yes or no answers from a floorboard. That's not what you're looking for. But they're easy to use, pretty simple, and best of all, you can just carry one around in your pocket. I love these. I think they're really good.
Okay. Some of the other equipment we've got here is this little motion, well, heat. It just detects heat, really.
Yes, it's a thermometer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fancy thermometer. But if you're doing a proper investigation, these are really good. So first of all, you can go round and get base readings on everything. So if you've got, say, if it's something like, say, Kelvedon Hatch bunker underground, everything's going to have a fairly cool temperature to it because you're underground. You can get base readings from this of the lockers that are there, the mannequins, that kind of thing. mark them down.
So you just get different temperatures, different places in the room.
Yeah, yeah, and that can give you a base reading of what everything is supposed to be. Then you use this to then detect changes. So sometimes you might feel that you've got a lot of cold energy around you. So if someone's holding
the outside.
right, so this is showing 27 degrees. It might be more now. It's pointing towards me. But if you get base reading from this, and then someone then says that they've got a really cold feeling or a cold breeze around them, if the base reading for the rest of the room is say 27 degrees, but around them is showing 13 degrees, that's a significant change. That is pretty good evidence. It can be a really good piece of tech, but I think people tend to not use this because you don't often see it on the programs like Ghost Adventures, that kind of thing. So yeah, I quite like this. It's good for base readings as well.
It's a good little piece of equipment.
Yeah.
But then there's like other simple things, you know. A torch. You just make sure you've got a torch. One was working, obviously. And always remember, take some spare batteries.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pretty useless without batteries. Got trail cam, which is really pretty simple. Even I know this one. You just literally turn it on, set it up wherever you want to set it up, and just leave it. And then come back later and see what footage you've got. We've actually got some really good footage from trail cams. But that's all it is really, isn't it? Trail cam, you don't need much more than that. Just set it up, put it down. Yeah.
And they can be programmed to just do photographs or just do video. So we have our one programmed to do a short space of video and take a couple of pictures, and that can actually capture stuff that is quite easy to debunk as well. So where you might have another camera in the room that you're recording and you catch an anomaly, because that takes pictures as well, you can see that anomaly on the video, but on the picture you can see that it's a moth or it's a dragonfly or something like that. So that can actually be used to debunk quite easily. And like you say, it's easy, just put it there, switch it on, walk away.
Piece of easy equipment. Then you've got a bit more complicated equipment, night vision cameras.
Yeah. They don't necessarily have to be that complicated though.
No, I mean this is not complicated. It's pretty much, this is one of the ones that we give to everyone who comes on a ghost hunt.
Yeah, get a choice of one of these.
But other than that really, it's simple. You just open it, obviously take the cap off and push on, off, film, walk around.
Yeah.
And see what you can capture.
We have had people do a good 10-15 minutes of recording on these and still with the lens cap still on, Sometimes with these things you capture something afterwards. So we've had EVPs come through there, and you can quite clearly see that
EVPs, that's the
electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah,
so
because not everyone knows what it is.
No, that's true. So you've had it before where everybody's sitting in the room and you can see everybody's talking, they're chatting, they're doing some different experiments, but this has captured a voice that's not from anyone in that room. And we've also set it up and caught footsteps walking into a room, which was quite good. And then the person sitting in that room has actually said, "Oh, I can't do this with you people wandering around in here." But you can quite clearly see on the camera that no one enters that room.
Yeah, I actually put that footage is on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll put a link below so that you can just click on it and it'll take you to that to have a look.
Yeah.
But obviously, and don't forget, spare batteries.
Yes.
Same. And we've got another little gadget here.
Yeah. It's pretty similar to a K2. This is an electromagnetic radiation detector. So again, it picks up electromagnetic fields, but this will give you a reading So it has a little display. So whereas this one you can get it to light up to red, this one you can ask if it will go, can you make it go as high as you can. So we've had it where it's gone way over like 2000, and this has been sitting in the middle of the room. So even though it's quite difficult sometimes to see the display, if you've got your torch you can hold that on there, but this will actually alarm and make a noise. So sometimes this will pick up before the K2 does. If you've got them together and they're both detecting something, if you ask something to just light this up and not this, and this lights up and this doesn't register anything, that's excellent.
Okay, and we've got a couple of last little bits to show you. It's just a voice recorder.
Yeah.
You get a lot going on with that, don't you?
Yeah, so this is just really simple little dictaphone voice recorder. And it's quite handy for a few different reasons. One, again, it's small, you can keep it in your pocket. But before you start, if you can put this into a room, maybe with a trigger object and a camera set up, and just leave it recording. If you lock the room so that you've got no interference with it, and then have that room as out of bounds, these can sometimes pick up voices in that room, and if that room's locked, you know they're not coming from outside. That can be a really good piece of equipment.
Yeah.
But you can also just sit with these and ask questions. Give it plenty of time in between questions, so don't ask them one after the other after the other.
Yeah, 'cause that I've actually noticed a lot of people just do it quick.
Yeah.
Was you born here? Did you live here? Did you die here?
Yeah.
There's just not enough time in between.
Yeah, and also I find that people ask the same questions. Did you live here? Did you die here? Were you married? Blah, blah, blah. So I tend to repeat the same question over and over. So I will ask, can you give us your name? And then you wait a few minutes, and then you say, can you please tell us your name? Wait a few minutes. Could you please speak your name into the little recorder? So then, if you continuously, I find if you ask the same question over and over and over again, even if you're not leaving enough time in between questions, because you kind of feel like you've got to keep asking questions, but because you're repeating the same question in a slightly different way each time, if you then get a voice that says John, then you've got a proper response. And I've even known people doing experiments and they've asked, can you tell us what 2 add 2 is? Can you tell us what 2 add 2 is? Do you know how to add 2 add 2? What's the answer to 2 add 2? And you have got a sensible answer of a voice going 4. And it's a simple little one-word answer, but it's very exciting if you can actually get an intelligent answer.
Along the same lines, you've got Spirit Box. Like I was saying, the Spirit Box, I'll let Carol explain how this works. You've got different ways of listening to it. There's all different bits, but Carol will explain it.
So this is an SB7. This is a Spirit Box, so it picks up radio waves. So the theory is that you can sweep with white noise. Switch it on. You can sweep with white noise, either sweep backwards or forwards, and it'll flick through stations. Well, not stations, through frequencies. So you should be able to pick up voices. So you can either do that with the speaker that's in it, you can amplify that with a bigger speaker, or if you're going to do the Estes method, you can use headphones. So the Estes method, we have a Spirit Box, and someone sits in a room with the Spirit Box going, the earphones in, and we blindfold them. Everybody leaves the room, we leave a camera rolling, we ask questions outside the room and we see if any voices come through. If they do, the person sitting in there says what word has come out. So these can be quite good, and also they're not foolproof. So if you don't have enough of a rate going, enough speed going through, then you can pick up the odd word, and it's just from a DJ on a radio station saying yes, on, if, go. But if you have enough of a rate going, and then you get out, or
well, I've actually had it with that.
Yeah.
Last time that I used it, it said leave, and then a minute or two later it said leave now.
Yeah, so you shouldn't really get two words together at all.
And it was leave me.
Yeah, and also that was the first time that you'd ever used one of these, because you'd never been interested in doing it before. He's normally always behind the camera, so he's never really tried it before. And it was very strange that while he was getting leave now, I had asked, do you want us to stay here? Which you wouldn't normally ask, because if you get a leave now, you should really leave. But we was in a graveyard, and I'd asked, do you want us to leave? And as he got leave now on the spirit box, the K2 lit up and stayed lit up for a substantial amount of time.
Yeah, I'll put a link below to that as well, because that is actually on YouTube. You can actually see it.
Yeah.
So that's a good piece of equipment anyway. And I think, should we move on to some trigger objects maybe?
Yeah. So trigger objects would just be any kind of object. This is religious trigger object, but you could use virtually anything really. So something like this you might use if it used to have, say it's supposedly haunted by a nun or a monk, then this would be a good trigger object.
So how would you actually use that then?
So you would put this, what you can do, so something like this, I personally would put it down on a piece of paper, draw around the object on the piece of paper, put it in the room, leave a camera running, lock the room, and then go and have a look at the footage afterwards. So on the piece of paper, if this has moved...
Would that be something that you use the trail cam for maybe?
Yes, you could do, that would be good. But if something like this had moved and you'd had that room locked that whole time, but something had interacted with this, that's excellent footage. But you would pick a trigger object depending on the venue. So something like this again, if it's supposedly haunted by a nun, then they may interact with something like that. But then you could also use, we have teddy bears, you have a ball, so we've got a little toy train. So if you're somewhere that's meant to have the ghost of a child, you would have a toy of some sort. If it's used to be a, say an old printworks, then you might use Scrabble pieces and put them down, put the camera on, and then see if the Scrabble pieces move or they're interacted in any way. And you would use a trigger object. It's literally an object that triggers something to interact with it.
Yeah, because the little bear you've got, that lights up and makes a sound, doesn't it?
Yeah, so that's got some little EMF detectors in there, in the paws and in the belly, I believe, and that will make a noise and light up if something interacts with it. But trigger objects can be almost anything really.
And we've got this other little gadget here, which I'll let Carol explain to you. Some fancy lights with it.
Right, so it's called a laser net, and it has a little laser inside there that creates a pattern on the wall. So if I show you here, the further away you get, the bigger it will spread.
So shall I hold it?
Yeah, if you like.
So
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so if you get that, you put that down, have that resting on something, and then if something breaks the field, you can actually see that. So even though you might not actually be able to see the object that's breaking the field, you can see an outline, and it's quite good if it's picking up things like mist and that kind of thing, because it will, even though you can sort of see the lights through it, they become distorted. So that's quite good. That can pick up a lot of stuff. And again, if you put that, say the trail cam, and then that next to it, maybe going down a tunnel or a corridor or something, if something passes through that, the trail cam will pick up the movement. It can pick up the movement of those lights, and then it will pick up, you can see the shape of whatever it is that has moved through that field.
So that's quite an easy little gadget, simple, keep in your pocket.
Yeah, and not expensive as well. And also, you can use it literally to use as a torch as well. So it doesn't give a lot of light, but again, multi-purpose, and it can be that one thing that you find picks up something that you haven't detected. So if you see, you can see my hand in 2 different spots. But yeah, I like it. I think it's a good piece of equipment.
Well, I think that's about it for now. So goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Okay. Ghost faces.
Do it together, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's so
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ghost faces.